Today we're looking at the world of a man that really did change the face of fashion, particularly for the ladies of the 1950s. You see, we came out of the Second World War and people suddenly were looking for something glamorous. Hairdressers were still really stuck in the 1930s. Nothing had changed for so many years until this man came along, Raimondo, or Raymond, now famously known as Mr. Teasy Weasy. Now, what was interesting here was Raymond was a self-created icon. Simple as that. You know that phrase, fake it till you make it? Well, seemingly this could have been his motto. What was fascinating here really was Raymond started life out literally in Wardour Street in London, born in the very heart of Soho in 1911. There was nothing French about him at all, even though he perfected this fake French accent, dressed flamboyantly, wore aftershave, perfume, mascara, and of course made people feel incredibly special. Now, after many years of working at his father's barber shop, creating false beards and all sorts of things for costumiers and theatre and films and stuff like that, he decided there was more money to be made if he created Raymond, and more importantly created the world of the hairdressing experience as something quite magical. He managed to get together some backers. He was an incredibly effusive charmer who really people wanted to invest in because he promised them untold riches what he was planning. Now, he had a salon here in the very heart of Mayfair, another one in Grafton Street, eventually one in Bournemouth, and all sorts of subsidiaries. But he was just very clever at marketing himself. The difference between him and the hairdressers of the time was simply this. He had these wonderful ornate chairs, champagne fountains, making sure that the women who were spending heavily truly felt they'd had an experience. Not only that, he became Teasy Weasy, all thanks to his reputation and the burgeoning TV service. They needed personalities. There was none bigger. So on a Saturday night, for quite a lengthy period, Raymond, Mr. Teasy Weasy, would demonstrate his latest hairstyle, teasing this, wheezing that. You see where the picture comes from now? All while puffing along on a cigarette in a cigarette holder and throwing his hands up in the air with great exclamation. The biggest publicity coup that he came up with, which really put him on the map, was this particular association. Our very own Marilyn Monroe, Diana Dawes, was trying her luck out in Hollywood. And with a joint venture between Raymond and Diana Dawes and her very, very pushy manager, Dennis Hamilton, they decided to concoct this. And it was fabulous. It basically was not true, but it was great nonetheless. Diana needed her hairstyling for a magnificent Hollywood event. The only person she trusted with her dresses was none other than Raymond. He was photographed flying out with all of his team and then photographed styling Diana's hair, all for this huge event. Apparently it cost over £2,000, the price of a small house then. Interesting is, the media were told all along the way, making sure that of course everybody knew it was Raymond with the scissors. Equally, when he went up to Blackpool, which was a big area at the time, particularly if you wanted to market yourself, well, once again he popped up, making sure he could try and catch some of the stars like Marlene Dietrich or Mae West or Judy Garland, whoever was in town, in the hope of getting pictured by them and more importantly offering to style their hair. In Blackpool and decided he needed some marketing, so much so that he turned up looking like Sherlock Holmes in a cape and touring around the resort and the promenade in an open-top bus, throwing out signed picture postcards of himself. As the 50s turned into the 60s, he sadly fell out of fashion. Not too much though, and was incredibly rich from his associations and hair salons. He decided to move into other things and basically made a lot of money backing and owning Grand National winners. Not only that, in the 70s, he popped up in the UK soap opera Crossroads, having been a good friend of its star, Noel Gordon. As I say, today he's possibly forgotten by so many people. When you think of the big names of hairdressing, you know, and you kind of think, wow, who started all of that? You truly could say that it was him. In our generation, of course, there were people like Nicky Clark, Vidal Sassoon, but they owe it all, everything, to the style, wit, charm, and quite simply, self-promotion of a man called Raymond. born in the very heart of London, who many people thought was actually Parisian. And it's all thanks to the magic box that was television that truly turned him into a star. Now, shall we have a shampoo and set? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.